All right, and here we are at the Commissioner's Corner, episode 5, sponsored by Double R.
Whereas Dom says I don't know, episode 5, 3, 2. Dom, great Dom.
You should know, I heard a lot about Dom going into the game, to the MSL HSL game, and then I saw it all play out. So it was just interesting to see how that worked. Um, but great stuff. A lot of stuff to talk about. We had a great week last week in the MSL. A lot of action, a lot of games, and this week a lot of playoff ramifications. A lot going on in the league. But before we get into all that, Yitz, how was Shabbos?
Shabbos was nice, quiet Shabbos by me, not too many stories in shul.
Even with
Not
Avi
too,
home, it
but
was quiet.
not too much going on. Yeah, I know. Straight, not a quiet Shabbos. Steph, Mendy were there, but it was quiet. It's quiet Shabbos. How was it by you?
Oh, it was great. I had a great Shabbos. Nice kiddush by Ezra Bennett. Big fan and supporter of the MSL. His kids, Gabriel, Tov, they're all-star
MSL
players.
guys.
They are real MSL guys, and there are a lot of guys there, a lot of MSL guys here. So it was great I could probably do a podcast from the conversations I had with all of them. I have to say, Moshe Nussen, there was a lot of bulletin board material by Moshe Nussen given to me. He was fired up today. He was fired up, and ultimately, I'm not going to give all the bulletin board material out there, but he did say he's going to let his team, the playing on the field, will do the talking. So we'll
You
leave it
sure
at
it was
that.
Moish? You sure it was Moish Nussen and not Josh Flax?
No, Josh Flax is obviously rubbing off on him, but Moshe was we're talking about all the teams, RSK and Jules by DK and Morocco, all the teams, and he's like, don't talk about us, don't worry, we're there. So he was all fired up, so I got to speak to Moshe, and Effie was there, so I got to catch up with him, and we're talking about his team. It's going to be great playoffs coming around. We're talking about his team, the strength of his team when they're all there. We're talking about the MSL, HSL game, the players who made it, and we're talking about players who didn't make it, who could have made it. So it was, very, very good conversation that we're having.
Always a hot topic.
And, yeah, no, great stuff. Great to have these conversations with everybody. What the fun thing was, I got, and
Right.
so it was great. I got to see a lot of the guys who played in the leagues in the past. I got to speak to Naftali Amzel, Ellie Churns, Yona Rothman, and we're all sitting around talking about the league, the quality, and a lot of young guys, but there's still guys who want to play. Naftali Amzel saying he wants to play again. Ellie Churns wants to play again. So it's interesting. Maybe that's something that we can talk about, figure out, what we can do for guys who cannot play on a competitive level as RSK now and Morocco and this and Jules by DK, but still want to play. There are a lot of guys that still want to play out there to figure out something we can do for them. You know,
So yeah, I mean, there was talk about. Someone mentioned to me a week or two ago. It's talking about a 40 and over league. We talked about a second tier or second division because there are so many guys who, as you mentioned, they want to play. They're scared to join these top teams, and these top teams have no room for them. And they play on lower level teams, and they feel like they're always, going against a better opponent. So they want a league that's just good for them. And I think we were just talking about who mentioned it to us in TNAC. There's the basketball league where there's two divisions. Avi Schwabel's like a captain or something in one of those things, and I think it's a great thing where guys could just come who are not on that level anymore. A lot of guys who are not on that level anymore and could just play in a comfortable atmosphere where they're just going out to have a good time.
yeah. So it's definitely something we should talk about after the season. A way to add these guys. I'm sure a guy like maybe even like Avi Katz. It was a lot of guys who would even Sam Wainhouse maybe would want to play again.
Steve Romer,
You
welcome
know,
back.
so it's so it was just an interesting conversation. Something definitely we should talk about. Also, it's great seeing a lot of young kids coming back from Israel, guys who played in our league. Bodner's kid, Amsel, Walden's kid, Bennett's kids. These are kids, and they're talking about how they're following us from Israel. They knew all about Smash House, and they knew about the MSL HSL game. We're talking about it. So it was nice to see the young kids, and they're already talking for about when they come back from Israel about playing in the MSL. So it was really a nice kiddish. great party, and that's where we got today. It was fun stuff. But the MSL HSL game was definitely a topic conversation.
Okay, MSL HSL game. It was a great game. I was on the field as a coach. I wish I would have been able to play. I really do. You were there behind the mic, able to eat the food and see what's going on. What were your thoughts about the game, the environment, the atmosphere?
So amazing. I have to say kudos to all the MSL players who came at it with their families. What a great vibe. And the greatest thing was, the HSL league, they don't have what we have. No league has what we have. With we see it over and over again, the energy, the vibe, the feeling of camaraderie, and it stood out that night. Guys cheering for each other, guys just talking with each other. It was just a great bunch of friends watching a game, and it was absolutely the energy was terrific, and it was mentioned to me by a bunch of time by the HSL players. I mean, we know what we have, so we get sort of used to it. But these guys were really impressed with how many guys came out to watch and to cheer and just to be there that night. So it was the energy was off the charts. It was really great to see everybody, positive energy. The HSL guys, nice guys. All I have to say, all of them were really nice guys. Thought we treated them nice, with the food and just the general environment. And the game itself was it was a great game. It was a great game. You're watching top talent from two teams, two different leagues. You have the MSL, HSL, great in a game. The first game was a phenomenal game. It's called the MSL led throughout until a rocky, seventh inning there. But when you're watching this, nobody's making mistakes. This is hitters, they're fielders. Everybody's making the right plays, crisp baseball, and you're watching really top quality game. So it was fun to watch from behind. The game in general. You were coaching it. You were more on the field. What were your thoughts? What were you saying?
So I was on the field again, only coaching. I really wanted to get in the game.
How you
I
feeling,
thought the
by the way?
atmosphere was great.
Yitz did take a fall that day. Was supposed to start that night. So Zevi took that spot. How you feeling, Yitz? Let me jump
I
in
mean,
there.
honestly, I didn't really hurt myself. As I told some guys, I just didn't want to wear those knickers. So I did whatever it took to take myself out of that game. Yeah, being the first base coach, and coaching with Yitzy Rosen, I enjoyed it a lot. He was doing third base. I felt the atmosphere on the field for sure. I got to talk to their first baseman a lot. Got to talk to base runners. What I got most from the players, even more than playoff games, they told me they felt that every pitch was life or death. They didn't feel like it was a playoff game. They actually felt it was more heightened. I don't know why. I hope, if there's another game, I could feel that. But they said every single pitch. It wasn't just for playoff life. It was pride. This was a pride thing to them. They didn't want to mess up for their league. They felt pressure on everything. And that mean whenever someone got a hit, you saw that, like, let's go on every hit. And hits were hard to come by. When you have top teams, top players, top pitching, top fielding, it's going to be hard to get hit. So any one of those hits is a big thing. And there weren't that many. There were low-scoring games. Game 1, 3-2 going into the last inning. Final score was 4-3. MSL had the lead. We were 2 outs away. I
Yeah,
would say
yeah,
2 outs away from a sweep. Looking
yeah,
at the
yeah.
second game where we won 8-4. It was really 8-1 maybe until the last inning.
Oh.
But it was great.
And
All
it's
the players
interesting. I'm
I
just going to
spoke
jump
to.
in. It's interesting you say that because an HSL player told me it felt like he was in camp all over again, like an inter-camp game, high level. Just you feel the fans, you feel the energy. He told me, he said he hasn't played in a game like that in years. So it was nice that the players felt that they're playing for something, and the fans, our league was into it.
100%. I mean, you go behind 1-2, 0-2 as a batter in a game like this. It's not just you feeling the pressure. You feeling the pressure of letting not just your team down, but letting your league down. But it was great. I spoke to guys after the game, and they enjoyed it. They really liked it. They said they had a great time. They said the event was great, the food was great, the atmosphere was great, and it's one up, right?
Right.
So
It's,
basically, we're the same.
it was great, and you know what? Both teams talented. Only positive things to say about their talent on their side, talent on our side. The crazy thing, the crazy stat of the night is as of right now, there are over 775 viewers on YouTube who watch this
Wow.
game. That to me is,
Wow.
it means people are into it, not just our league, but other leagues, other players. It's spread a lot. The fact that you're talking about over 775 views of the game, that to me
Yeah.
says so much
That,
about what we're
that
doing.
Yeah, and there were so many people there. So it was people there, over 100 for sure. And then you had people tuning in and out of the game. I know one person was actually, watching the game at the game. I'm not going to say who that was, and was posting questions while they were there. But yeah, no, it's great to see. Good to see guys are into it. They didn't want to miss it. And all in all, I think it was an awesome time. And you know what? Let's tease it. Let's not. But we're on schedule to play them again. July 31st. That's in 2 weeks, not even 2 weeks. Next Thursday, July 31st. Unfortunately, unless all the guys come down with us, we're not going to have such a huge turnout MSL. But we're working on things. Maybe getting some
Party
transportation
bus,
arrangements.
party bus. I think you party
Maybe
bus.
party bus, limos. Who knows? To get some of our support down there,
You
which
know,
should be.
yeah, it should be fun, and it's also, this is something I think, we've discussed, the talent that was on the field, but there's a lot of talent that didn't make the game, that were not a part of this roster, and it's always going
It's
to be that way.
impossible.
There's always different ways. Maybe next year there's other ways to figure out, to get more players involved in different things. But ultimately, the talent in our league, you're talking about, we have close to 300 players, and a roster like this only has 16. Of course, there are going to be players left off. No matter how you figure out how you're going to construct the roster, there's always going to be top players left off. We always, I saw like Gitsy Stern. I'm like, he's a great player. A lot of people are saying Luzzy Lift. And again, we mentioned a bunch of Moroccan players, a bunch of different players in general in the league, or guys who just started playing this year. Next year, they're already played in our league. We know more of them. So it's definitely something to build on. And the fact that we have so much talent in our league is amazing.
Yeah. One thing for sure is, and this was a conversation after as well, and some of the HSL players also attested to this, is that whether the starting lineups are even or not, bottom line is what showed is the MSL depth. We have tons of depth. So many people feel, and rightfully so, that they could be on this team. Obviously, we can't take 30 people down to a team, but our depth showed. We were missing 4 players, starters probably, and we were still able to do it. We
Yeah.
were sliding guys in and out.
And
We have depth.
I would say
We
this
have
is
depth.
probably like 10, 15 guys who didn't make the roster who could have been played on this team as well. We have a lot of really good players, and again, next season, how we do this roster, how we do it for discussion after. But we're always listening to people. Let's listen to different ideas and everything. But ultimately, the game itself was great. The first game was great. Second game was great. Just a great night. So let's keep doing fun stuff with MSL. We appreciate everybody coming out to the game. I would like to mention the two pitching, the guys who pitched. Naftali, Solomon, Zevi Smanos pitched great
Awesome.
games, kept the team
Awesome.
in it all night, and just so they're on top of their game. There's reason why they're all stars. And I know, if I believe I'm correct, game 3, Yitz, you're on the mound for that one. So pressures
Yeah, I
are on
said
you,
yeah,
baby.
again, I set this thing up perfectly to get me game 3. I told Dom, call the guy, say out, safe at first. I didn't want to sweep. I needed that game 3. I'm a selfish person. It was all me.
Thank you,
I
Dom.
puppet
Thank you, Dom.
puppet strings,
Thank you,
puppet strings.
Dom.
I control everything.
All right,
Thanks
so
for the rain the night before. Let's go into
let's go.
yeah.
Last
So
week,
let's
Double R. Let's just jump into Double R. I'd love to talk about Double R. They clinched, I believe, a playing game last week, and
yep, Cobra. Yeah. So
yeah, you can
so I'll get
jump
into
in.
that.
Go ahead.
So the playoff teams are set 1 through 9. We know it's going to be. We know it's not going to be. It's not going to be precision vision in day 3. They had down seasons for them, but they all, as the season ended, they all started playing better, and hopefully we see some big things from them next year. But for this year, the seedings are not set, but the teams are set. So the 9 teams that are in, for sure, at least in. Some of them clinched a spot, some of them clinched a play-in, but we have, as of now, we have Maractum, Jules by DK, RSK, MJ, EYG Consumer, at 7-6. Consumer still has another 5 games left, so
Wow.
they could actually jump all the way up. But then you have numbers 7, 8, and 9. Double R 7-8, MS Motors 7-9, Cobra Rentals 6-9, and they're all fighting right now to not be the 8-9. They
Right,
want the
right,
7. I mean, I assume they want the 7. Maybe they want the 8-9 because they feel the 1 seed's not as strong. I don't know. I don't know who throws games on purpose.
right.
I don't know. But no one wants to play in a play-in, right?
No.
You want to get that 3-game series. You don't want that play-in. So they're all fighting, and so they're fighting for a playoff, to get into the playoffs, not to play in. And then at the top of it, teams are still fighting for first, second, third, fourth place. It's still there. Now, quickly looking at the schedule because it's important to
I
see
just
what
want. I'm gonna stop you before we look forward schedule. I just want to jump back into Double R. Rafi Rothschild, he guaranteed his team is making the playoffs, and there was chuckles, and people didn't take him serious or his team serious. He played last week to clinch a playing spot. He played against Consumer Lighting, and he was missing Caesar. There was somebody else, another strong player, and they came and they won. He pitched great that night. The Pajam Pan pitcher wearing other pants. I didn't even recognize him. He
not
pitched
the
a
dog
gem
pants
of a
anymore.
game, and they came out victorious and a big victory for them. And kudos to Rafi, to Donnie, to that whole team who they came together as the season went on. They're playing strong baseball, and congratulations to them. I'm really happy for that team for how they're able to pull it together and really, get into this playoff talk.
Yeah. They had a good year. They had a very good year. I was speaking to Rafi actually after the game. They have 6 wins this year, and last year they had 4 or 5. They were more, but they realized this year was much tougher because we went with that balanced schedule this year.
Yep.
And they played. He said last year he played refined 4 times. He got 4 wins. This year it was tougher. So when he made that prediction, he wasn't even taking into account that it's going to be a balanced schedule. And they won 6 games, 7 games, whatever it is right now. They played some tough teams. They were in games against tough teams. I know one game against us, they were winning 4-2 in the 8th or something. It was 4 up in the 9th. So they were close against some very good teams, and they're only moving up. The trajectory is upwards right now. Quickly, just to go over the remaining schedule, just so people understand what we're playing
Sure,
for.
there's different
Morocco's
strengths now.
currently
Different strength of schedules going to play effect now.
100%. Morocco's currently in first place, and they have an easy schedule left. And not to throw shade on any teams, but they still got Precision. They got Cobra, Day 3, and they have Jules. So they have 4 games left. It's looking like, anything could happen, obviously, but it's looking that like they'll end up in first place. Jules by DK, who's currently in second place, has a little tougher schedule. They're playing Cobra, which is not a walkover, and then they're playing RSK and Morocco. Tough schedule.
That's a tough schedule. That's not no gimmies there. No gimmies there.
No, RSK has even a tougher schedule with 3 games left. RSK's got Consumers, Jules, and MJ.
Wow. So it's a lot of good teams. I was telling this to somebody today. I thought maybe it was to Effie even, of if teams really come with your roster, the playoffs this season is going to be crazy. It's going to be tight games, great games. There's so much talent. Teams are really, really stocked this year with talent, and they're deep. Yeah. And if teams come, it's going to be fun. I'm like looking forward to seeing how this all plays out.
Yeah. Quickly, MJ has 2 games left. Only 2 games left. They got Double R again, as we said, a tough team, and RSK. So 1 through 4. I mean, on Morocco, I'm going to put it 1. 2 through 4 could go up and down very easily. EYG is currently 5th. They have Vision. It could be an easy game, but who knows? Then they still have Double R and Consumers. Up and down they could go. Consumers has a million games left. They're actually, as I said, if they go 6-0, 5-0 to end the season, they can move up to second place. Who knows? They currently are in 6th, but they can move up. And then those bottom 3 teams, which I mentioned, this is interesting. Double R has MJ, EYG, and Cobra. It's a tough schedule. Nothing easy. MS Motors, who's right there with them, has Day 3 and Consumers. So a little easier, with the Day 3. And Cobra has Jules and Morocco. I mean, that's going to be tough. So
that's tough for them. That's tough for them.
You know what?
Parrish has been pitching very well for them. I have to say, Parrish on the mound has been pitching really good. They're a good team. That's a tough schedule. Everybody, a lot of tough schedules, a lot of tough
So,
teams,
so,
a lot of
so
top
everybody's in
teams.
the playoffs. Everybody's in, but that seeding could go up and down very quickly. No one knows who they're going to play in the first round. That's for sure. But we're looking forward to a great, last 2 weeks of the season and get the playoffs started right after Tisha B'Av. Looking forward to it. And we're also in the awards season time. So I know Yaakov Kahana put in the captain's chat, just got it started. I know a lot of teams have games left, so we're not going to have any voting yet. But it's time to start nominating players, just so the captains on their own teams. There's no voting yet. Captains know their players. Even if you have 4 games left, you have a sense of who's your MVP. We got that out there, so captains are starting to nominate. We're getting a
That
list.
does excite. I would love to see. I think this year's like open. I mean, I have,
It's open,
I have 2, 3 guys on
wide
on
open.
on, on Jules. I think could be an MVP. I think you probably have, and Moroccan has a bunch of guys. I'm sure they feel they can be. There's so many solid players this year with playing with great stats, great numbers. So that'll be excited to see who comes out on top with the MVP. Cy Young, and we're
Everything.
gonna go
Cy
Gold
Young
Glove
could be
again.
anybody.
A
Gold
lot
gloves,
of
yeah.
good players out there. Love to see how it all plays out.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are too. So we can't wait to get that. I think we're going to do this year again for Gold Glove. We're going to have, we're going to open up to players, but we're going to give captains, a higher weight on their
hmm
voting just for transparency. The captains will get a higher weighted vote because we know what happens. It becomes a popularity contest,
Yeah.
which is fine. But we can't have, a million people just voting for friends without giving the captains who see everything a little more weight. And I think
Yeah.
everybody will agree to that. Other than
Agree.
that, we know how we do everything else, but we're looking forward to that. Again, it's open. I know Ellie Reyes was like, we can't vote yet. I still have 4 games left
But
third
at least we got to
MVP.
start talking about it. We got to start talking about it. Got to start throwing some names out there.
Yeah,
So it's that time of season. Season's winding down, So it's for
100%.
sure time to talk
And
about all the awards.
and with the season winding down, as one thing ends, a door opens. And what does that mean?
Fall ball,
What does that mean?
baby. Fall ball. Right around the
Fall
corner.
ball.
That's it.
Oh yeah, and
Fall ball. Last year,
we're getting a lot of
I would say
requests.
fall ball last year really. I think that took the league to the next level because ultimately during the regular season everybody more serious. Everybody comes with their teams. Everybody's fighting for playoff positions. It's intense. We have an intense competitive league. Fall ball lets guys play with their friends, different guys. We do the draft.
Draft
The draft is definitely great. And again, once again, we'll stream the top
live,
3 rounds like we did last year.
live draft, baby.
Live draft, first 3 rounds. And
Yep.
so guys play with different guys, and it's not as intense, more relaxed. Come get some dogs, go eat, go have a good time with your friends, and you're playing with different guys. And I think last year that really helped for guys to play with different friends because we haven't been doing that. We play with the same team. We come back every year, same roster, more or less, a little here, a little there. But that really introduced players to players. You got to see different talent. Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
know this guy was
Yeah.
so good. I know, and also personalities come out, right? Oh, that guy's a funny guy. That guy's a chippy guy. That guy, and which I thought really helped the league so much to how it took this and I rolled over to this year the camaraderie and again all the energy. But I think the full ball is something that
Yep.
really
And
guys look forward to. Guys look forward to it.
we're hoping for 8 teams. We're hoping we had 6 last year. From the amount of emails, WhatsApps, and texts that I'm getting, like when's it starting? It's a lot of new players. We're gonna open it up on the website. You just go to our website, go to the softball tab. On the bottom is the registration. That's for full ball already. And if you want to join full ball, the only way you're going to be in the draft pool is if you register. By telling Ezzy and I, by the way, I'm joining, that doesn't help us. You need to
So
register.
is registration officially open for fall ball?
It's going. Yeah, it's officially open right now. Right now, as they listen to this, it's officially open. Even if you're Ezzy, even if you're Yitz, if we don't register, we're not being drafted. You must be
If I
registered. So we have the
registered, I don't
list.
know if I'm going to be drafted.
But that's true. Hey, so let me
Yeah.
put a disclaimer. Just because you're registered doesn't mean you will be drafted. No, we're going to go by, let's say
But
there's
we're gonna
60
try to get
players.
everybody in. We're gonna try to do as best as we
Yeah,
can
if there's
to
eight
get everybody
teams,
in.
let's say there's 96 players, the first 96 will definitely get in. Obviously, if you're the 164th player to register and we only have 8 teams, you're not getting in. So the odds are you register, you get in. But if you don't register, Don't come to us after the draft and say, "Why wasn't I drafted? I wanted to play." If the captains don't have you on the list, we used to do it back in the day when we used to do fantasy drafts. We try to hide the players before there was all the online systems in the '90s. Like we gave a list, but I didn't. I knew this guy. I'm not putting him on the list, and no one knew about him. Then in the 24th round, I'm like, yeah, Alex Rodriguez. Here we go. Um, so if you're not on the list, you're not being drafted. Let's get that going. Website
Awesome. That's exciting stuff.
MuncieSportsLeagues.com and go to
And
the
and
softball
I'm going to
tournament.
throw this out there just to end off. This week, volleyball. I know it's all this we're talking about softball, but the MSL has a
Playoffs and
volleyball.
championship.
There's playoffs and championships for this coming Thursday. So the MSL has a lot going on. Big championship game in volleyball. Playoffs and championship this Thursday. So
Hey,
let's
show me. Is this legal or not legal? Legal or not legal?
Yes, your serve is illegal. Stop it. When
If it ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
but it's been a it's been a great season in the volleyball. So we're looking to wrap that up on a high. And once again, as we said, MSL still a lot of movement could go on with the playoff positioning. So it's let's keep going. Let's keep it going.
Keep the momentum going. Got volleyball, fall ball, basketball, so much
That's
coming up. A lot of meetings going on for other things. So we'll get to that
Yeah.
maybe in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
tease.
not stopping. Hey,
That's it.
so
We're just starting. MSL is just starting. That's it.
we're
And we
just
appreciate
starting.
we appreciate all the players, all the personalities, and all the feedback that we get. We're always listening, always trying to improve. And please, anybody feels that something that we can do, and we get it all the time. Last week, we got a message from someone trying to improve certain things within our league, and we're always listening, and we appreciate it. We appreciate the feedback and whatever everybody can bring to the table. All
All
right,
right,
Yitz,
let's wrap it up.
let's keep it going.
All right, Ezzy, another great episode, and I will speak to you guys soon. See everybody on the field tomorrow.
Awesome.